thank you so much for this interview. So, I think this movie it's one of the most beloved ones in
Sure.
not only Disney movies, but from all animated movies. I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, sure.
What was the biggest challenge to make a new version of this really beloved movie?
Well, the challenge was that people know it so well, the original, and people even know the stage show because it's been touring for decades. So people have a very clear idea of what Lion King should be. And so even though we were reinventing it, to some extent we had to fulfill people's expectations of what the Lion King is, because people are very quick to say, I don't like it if they don't like it. And by the same token, there's an emotional journey that people associate with seeing the original productions. And we had to capture that in a film that was completely digital and completely artificial, but make it feel organic and real.
And for example, for us as an audience, it's really enjoyable to see a new version of this movie. But for you to work with your own hands this movie, what does that mean to you?
Well, it's a tremendous responsibility because I felt that there was a legacy that still exists for it that I had to be protective of. But yet, if I didn't do something different and special, there's no reason for people to go see another Lion King. There's already a good one that they could see, that they could rent, or watch at home. So the trick was how do you breathe new life into it? How do you create a different personality to the same story? And that was what we used this technology for. And of course we had our wonderful cast that helps differentiate it from the original.
And talking about the cast, how was the process to choose each celebrity to lend their voices to the character?
Well, luckily, because it's Lion King, everybody loves the original film. And the opportunity to be a part of this legacy was very exciting and appealing. And as we showed them the tests that we were doing and the technology we were experimenting with, and we would show images of the animals, and at first people were confused if it was a real animal or if it was fake. And so it felt like something very special and ambitious. And fortunately, I was able, everybody that I wanted to be in it agreed. And it gives you a tremendous amount of comfort as a director to know that the film is in such good hands.
Okay, and did you think, for example, in comedians for the funny characters?
Sure.
And everything, what was on your mind while choosing which celebrity was going to make each character?
I thought it would be really cool if the actors could also sing their roles, which doesn't always happen. There's ways to control that in post-production. But the idea, like as though we were doing it as a stage play, to have all the actors be able to do the roles and also sing the songs, I thought would be really exciting. And so to have, when you hire Beyonce, you're also getting Beyonce the singer to interpret the role. And Donald Glover, wonderful singer, even Billy Eichner, Chiwetel Ejiofor, right? We had and then the people who aren't traditional singers like John Oliver or Seth Rogen, they also were able to bring a lot of character and personality to it. Because the music, I think, is the most exciting part of Lion King, and I wanted to make sure that the music incorporated the cast and the character of the cast.
And well, there are a lot of messages in the movie.
Sure.
What would you say is your favorite message from The Lion King?
I think the idea that, now that I'm older, I think the message that Mufasa explains to his son tries to explain, because the son just wants to be the king and thinks that when you're the king you can do anything. But how he explains to him that it's the king's job to protect and to take responsibility of everyone in the whole circle of life, and that it's a job. It's not a prize that you've won. It's a responsibility that you're taking on. So the sense of responsibility as you age, and to me that's part of growing up. And now that I'm I'm in my 50s, I have 3 kids, and I see as the next generation becomes adults and I become older, that you want the next generation to take that responsibility on and be a citizen of the circle of life.
And also another thing that I was really amazed, is that the animation is incredible. I mean, you can see
the hair, sure.
So how was this process of making the characters so realistic, and how would you say is the evolution of animation in Disney movies?
Well, we very much wanted to be part of the Disney legacy. And we wanted to also honor the emotion that the original film made you feel. The animation itself is extremely traditional. There are humans animating all the lions, all the animals. There's no motion capture, there's no photography. But we place constraints on the animators to make sure that the animals moved the way a real animal would move and not exaggerate the movements like animators are allowed to do in animated films. And then, of course, we have all of this great rendering technology and simulations for the fur and for the lighting. So when you mix all this great technology with this beautiful, subtle artistry, together you get the effect of what you saw. But one without the other doesn't look real. It requires the animators to have the discipline of naturalism, and the artists and the rendering and the visual effects artists to bring the life to the way it appears and the fur appears.